Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of the CBS Radio Workshop going back to July 7th, 1957. A story about Major League Baseball. And, of course, as we're right in the middle of the summer, makes sense. The episode entitled, You Could Look It Up.
That line drive was fouled, just by inches. Bugs Courtney can certainly clobber that ball. Well, here we are, first of the ninth, 2 men out, 2 on base, and the count on Bugs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Score 0-0. This is Del Charbon at Ringo Stadium in St. Louis. You know, if St. Louis wins today, it'll be a clean sweep, having won a doubleheader 7-2 and 10-0 yesterday. Looks like the league leaders are fading pretty fast, and St. Louis might take over. Well, now the outfield is moved back into position, and here's the pitch. Ball 4. Bugs walks, filling the bases. Now up comes their slugger, Hank Metters. Hey, wait a minute. There's a terrific rhubarb. It looks like a youngster coming up to the plate. Hey, check this, guy. No, it can't be a youngster. He has a big cigar in his mouth. A little bat and a big cigar. Well, here's the scoop on the rhubarb. For the first time in big league baseball, we have batting in the cleanup position for the league-leading champs, Pearl DeMonzo, a midget.
You are listening to the CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind. Today we salute 2 great American institutions. The institution of James Grover Thurber, whose penetrating vision into the word and line has brought so much happiness to so many. And to the institution of baseball, a slice of Americana that quickens the pulse of the nation with the battle cry, play ball. Our efforts today are directed to the little leaguers with stars in their eyes, to the players in the minors hoping for that call which will take them to the majors and their big chance, to the players in the majors who this day are struggling so hard to live up to that promise, to the thousands of grandmothers who died so abruptly of a Wednesday afternoon, so that their devoted grandsons could pay them homage in ballparks all over our nation. And to you husbands who can't remember an anniversary or a birthday, but when called on can give the batting averages in both leagues for the past 20 years. We challenge you with James Thurber's You Could Look It Up.
When most people in our town think of baseball, they think of Squawks McGrew. He came by this handle because of a peculiar quality of voice. When things were fouled up and the team was in a slump, he'd start screaming, and then it would happen. Suddenly, he'd almost lose his voice and end up squealing like a little girl whose doll had been stepped on. All this was several years ago, when McGrew was a manager and making one of the greatest names in baseball. Now, the old boy had come home to rock away his last innings. I was making my annual visit. My paper sent me to get a story to find out who would play in the World Series. McGrew had an Uncanny genius. For prophecy, speaking a language all his own. And for baseball.
Hello, Larry. Come on in.
Thanks, Mr. McGrew.
Now, don't tell me, boy, that another year has passed.
Right so. Well, Mr. McGrew, I won't take up much of your time. You've always said the teams in first place the 4th of July usually win the series. This year, it's the Yankees and Cincinnati. You think that's the way it's going to wind up?
No, don't hurry me, boy. Let's sit out here on the porch and rock a while, hmm? Speaking of those teams in first place and the 4th of July and all that, I'd like to tell you how once we led the whole league by about 7-8 games till about mid-September. Within a few days, that margin was trimmed down so as you could got it in the eye of a thimble. Just being about half a game ahead of St. Louis. Now, we've just been belted by Pittsburgh, was headed down to Columbus for an exhibition game. What a slump we was in. The boys running around snarling at each other, eating bad, sleeping worse. Batting for the team average is maybe hot 186. Half the time, nobody would speak to nobody else, lest it was to ball them out. Son, this is probably a long way to tell you. Would you like some lemonade?
No, thanks, Mr. McGrew. Tell me, what happened in Columbus?
Well, even Columbus shut us out, 3-2. Don't mind telling you, son, I was mighty near crazy, what with the hitting and all. While we was at the Chittenden Hotel, really snarling. Believe me, I wished I was dead. I was sitting at the bar of the old Chittenden, killing time, waiting on the train to St. Louis, when up comes Bugs Courtney.
Squawk!
Get lost, Bugs.
Squawk, you gotta get in the dining room. The boys are killing each other. Whitey Cut just hit Billy Klinger between the eyes with a T-bone steak.
Let them blind each other. Can't none of them see anyways. Go on, beat it, Bugs.
Look, Squawk, if you want a ball club...
I said beat it. And remember, Bugs, the Wright brothers have still got to build an airship big enough for you to hit with a ball bat. Oh, bartender.
Yes, Mr. McGrew?
How I pity me, brother, how I pity me. I thought I was the manager of a great ball team. Instead of that, I'm managing a bunch of blindfolded circus clowns.
Are you right? I seen that game today, Junior. You ain't got no ball club. What you got there, Junior, is a sideshow.
Bartender, bring me some black coffee. I must be having the DTs. I swear I've been talking to a 2.5-foot man.
It's all right, Mr. McGrew. This little guy here is Pearl Dumonville.
Pearl Dumonville. Pearl? I thought that was a girl's name.
Hold it, Junior.
What do you mean, Junior?
Don't pay him no attention. Pearl calls everybody Junior, because it always turns out he's a year older than anybody else.
Oh, yeah? Well, how old is he?
How old are you, Junior?
Oh, me? I'm 53.
Well, I'm 54.
Okay. What do you have, Dad?
Same as you, Junior. Give me a lift up in the bar, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Right this way, folks. Come right in and see the greatest collection of freaks in the world. See the armless pitcher. See the infielders with 5 thumbs. See the armless batters.
That's great, Pearl. That's great. You tell them. Go on.
Come on, boss. The fellas want to get out of here. People are staring at us.
Wait a minute.
We are going to wait a minute. July 7th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop. You could look it up here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
You ever make a change and then think, why didn't I do this years ago? Well, that's how people feel about switching to MediShare for their health care, especially now with inflation the way it is. People are very happy with the savings. Most families save about $500 a month when they switch. It's a huge help when prices are going up so fast in so many other areas. And MediShare's customer satisfaction rate is double that of health insurance. It's just a different experience, and people really like that. Medishare is an alternative to health insurance. It's a community of Christians who share each other's healthcare bills, and it's been going strong for over 25 years. It really is the gold standard, the most trusted name in healthcare sharing. Find out why people love it, find out why they rave about the customer service, and find out how good it feels to save some money right now. They're super easy to talk to. Here's the number, 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE, 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more the CBS Radio Workshop about an interesting case in the world of baseball. You could look it up. June 7th, 1957.
Pearl, I want you to meet my clowns. Clowns, this is Pearl de Montville, a monsieur of the old school. Now watch it, Pearl. Don't shake hands with them. The fingers are made of chalk. It'll bust right off in your paw.
Oh, you finger, my girl. Come on, then, folks. Step right up and see the legless base runner. See the outfielders, the butterfingers. See the southpaw with the arm of a child.
Of a child. All right, quiet, fellas. Whitey, Hank, want you two to bring the Pearl along. He's coming as mascot.
What?
And I'm holding you two guys responsible.
Hey, wait a minute, Junior. How am I going without no toothbrush? What am I going to do with no other suit?
The boys will take care of you. Okay, I'm going to check out. I'll see you at the train. See the guys with the glass arms, eh? See the guys with the cast iron brains. See the players with feet on their wrists.
Shorty, why don't you go home now, huh? Come morning and McGrew will forget all about you.
Yeah. He probably thinks you were something he's seen in a nightmare, and he won't laugh so easy in the morning either. Now, why don't you go on home?
Next. Skidoo. And 23 for you. Mr. Pearl de Montville is heading for St. Louis.
Hey, McGrew, remember where you found this? Or maybe you think they come with a breakfast on his tray.
Sneeze, your brains is dusty.
Here, wipe your face. Sit down here, Bugs.
There's a real couple of Damon and Phileases across the aisle, ain't they?
Hi, guys.
Whitey, we got enough trouble around here today. Why don't you go and play with your midget?
What kind of a crack is that? Let that have it, you wise guy.
Oh, yeah?
Give me that stuff.
That's what I got for a ball club, Mr. Dumonville. Rasslers.
A man can't be good at everything, but he ought to be good at something.
Oh, I wished I was manager of an old ladies' sewing circle instead of a ball club.
That's great, Junior. That's great. You are. You are.
You little
All right. Lay off, Hank. Now listen, you guys. If any of you hurt Pearl, I'll break your neck. Pearl here is the official mascot. And I want him to have a miniature suit and everything, just like the rest of us.
Oh, fine.
And Hank, I'm holding you responsible.
Thanks a lot. Well, the first thing you're going to do, Pearl, is get rid of that cigar. And if you wear our suit on the field and go insulting it, I am going myself to take you out to the zoo and feed you to the bears. What? Little blow smoke in my face, will you? Hold it.
I told you, no trouble. If anything happens to him, Hank, you're responsible. Now remember, you guys, we have a double-header tomorrow. So see if you can try hard enough not to disgrace Pearl and me. Okay. Now clear out. Pearl and I have some serious talking to do. Pearl, I tell you, them clowns are sure taking a lot out of me. I wished I was dead.
What makes you think you ain't, Junior? What makes you think you ain't?
Oh, now lay you off, will you? Pearl, tell me the truth. How old are you?
I told you, 54.
Okay. How tall are you?
I'm 31 and a half. No, 32 inches tall.
32 inches. That's fine. Tomorrow, I'm taking out legal and proper papers constituting one Pearl Dumanville a bona fide member of this former ball club. Maybe that'll shame them big babies into getting in there and swinging, knowing I can replace any of them with a midget. I beg your pardon, Pearl.
Okay, Junior.
Yes, sir. I'm going to make it all legal and proper.
Drive was fouled just by inches. Bugs Courtney can certainly clobber that ball. Well, here we are, first of the ninth. 2 men out, 2 on base, and the count on Bugs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Score 0-0. This is Del Sharbutt at Ringo Stadium in St. Louis. If St. Louis wins today, it'll be a clean sweep, having won a doubleheader 7-2 and 10-0 yesterday. It looks like the league leaders are fading fast, and St. Louis will take over. Well, now the outfield is moved back into position, and here's the pitch. Ball 4. Bugs walks, filling the bases. And now up comes their slugger, Hank Metters. Wait a minute. There's a terrific rhubarb. It looks like a youngster coming up to the plate. Check this, Ted. No, it can't be a youngster. He has a big cigar in his mouth. A little bat and a big cigar. Oh, well, now, here's the scoop on the rhubarb. For the first time in big league baseball, we have batting in the cleanup position for the league-leading champ, Pearl Dumanville, a midget. Well, this rhubarb seems to be growing and growing. I'm sure it's going to be a few minutes before they can get this game going again. So we've sent Ted down on the field with a portable mic. Can you hear me, Ted? Ladies and gentlemen, I see the St. Louis manager is up out of the dugout, and everyone is screaming and yelling. Again, we'll try to take you down on the field. Ted, come in. Ted, can you hear me? Come in. Come in.
Okay, Del. I'm down here, and the pandemonium here is terrific. We'll try to get as much of the conversation as possible. Here's McGrew and umpire Kelly screaming at each other.
I'm telling you, McGrew. I'm telling you, get a batter up there, or you'll forfeit the game.
I told you I'm sending in a pinch hitter. There he is, Pearl Dumanville. You stand right beside me, Pearl.
You got yourself a boy, Junior. Watch it, McGrew. Here comes that squarehead, the St. Louis manager.
McGrew, what are you trying to pull? Are you trying to disgrace baseball? They ought to bring the funny wagons for you. You know there ain't no pitcher alive can pitch no ball to no pitcher. It's all proper and legal. Here are the papers. Kelly signed with the owners, okay for the manager. Here you are. Now look it up.
I don't care what no papers say. He's a midget. Doesn't look right to me. He's using the kid's bat.
I don't care about any of that. But McGrew, where you been keeping him all season?
McGrew, maybe we had better get out of here. He's up to the field. I'm borrowed with the rule book.
What are you off that mouth for, Pearl?
Well, looks like it's legal and proper, just like McGrew said. All right, get back to your places. Get back in the dugout. Now, if there's any more screaming here, St. Louis will forfeit the game. Okay, McGrew, since you're half ball player in there.
Okay. Pearl, you just stand up there and hold that bat on your shoulder. There ain't a man in the world who can throw 3 strikes in there before he can throw 4 balls.
I get it, Junior. You'll have to walk me, and that will force in the winning run.
That's it, Pearl. That's it. Just stand there. Don't let me down.
I won't. Junior, light my cigar for me. You and me is gonna make history.
This is Del Sharbutt up in the press box again. Thank you, Ted. Thanks for that clarification of what's going on down there. Well, we are... Hey, wait a minute. The pitcher threw his glove on the ground and is stamping on it. I don't blame him, inasmuch as he's just walked 2 normal-sized men. Now he has a man at the plate who couldn't be more than 15 inches between his knees and his shoulders. The catcher is towering over the batter like the Washington Monument. Wait a minute. I have never seen anything like this. The plate umpire started standing on his tiptoes. Now he tries bending down. Nothing seems to work. Oh, this crowd is going mad. Well, he has a stance that no one has ever seen on a ball field before. The umpire is squatting on his haunches. All right, here's the first pitch. Ball one. That was 2 feet over DeMonville's head. The catcher is going out to the mound now to talk to the pitcher. He hands him the ball. Comes back to the plate. And now, here's the pitch. Side armor. Ball 2. Well, that one was a little closer. With a normal-sized man, I think it would have been a strike. With DeMonville, it was about 1.5 feet above his head. The catcher is going out to the mound again. And the third baseman has also come into the mound to talk things over. DeMonville is just standing there, motionless with that tiny bat over his shoulder. But he's blowing smoke rings. Well, here comes the catcher back. Boy, he gave DeMonville a look like he would like to see him in a bottle of alcohol. This is really fantastic. The runners on the bases have sat down on the bags. All right, ready for the next pitch.
But that next pitch is going to have to wait till our bottom of the hour break. From July 7th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop, you could look it up. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you.
And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required.
Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary.
800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of the CBS Radio Workshop production of You Could Look It Up, July 7th, 1957.
Here it comes. This is the slowest ball I've ever seen pitched. It's coming, slow. I believe it's going to be a... Oh, no! He hits the ball! Bad ball! The ball is rolling slowly down toward third. The infield is coming in fast. DeMonville is running toward first. The runners are up from their bases and are coming in. I think the catcher has the ball. No, he booted it out past the pitcher's box. The pitcher is falling on his face trying to stop it. I believe the shortstop has it. DeMonville still running toward first. The shortstop kicks the ball and is rolling toward second base. The runners are all in. DeMonville still running toward first, still 20 feet from the bag. The second baseman has finally gotten the ball, and here's the throw. Everything has broken loose down there on the field, and I'm going to try to pick up Ted. Ted, come in, come in.
Here I am, Dell. Down here by first. Pandemonium's broken loose. Here comes McGrew, running with tears streaming down his face. I'll try to pick this up, Dell.
Well, why did you do it, Pearl? I had to hit it, Mr. McGrew. You see, I'm a man.
A man, huh? Well, there's one man that's going to throw another man right out of the ballpark.
Somebody save me! Anybody! They're trying to kill a kid!
Back up here in the press box. This is amazing. It looks like McGrew is swinging his batter around like a hammer thrower, and it looks like Dumontville is the hammer. Nobody can get near him without getting his head knocked off. And now he lets him go, and it looks like Dumontville is headed for the soap sign in center field. And there goes the St. Louis center fielder on a dead run, back, trying to get under Dumontville, and he's got him. Out!
Well, Larry, he was out all right. That was the last ever seen of Pearl de Montville. As he ran out of the ballpark, he looked like one of those dash hounds with a satchel in his mouth, still smoking that big cigar. Yeah, that was the end of Dumontville, and that was the end of our losing streak, too. When we got in the locker room that day, we couldn't look at each other. And then suddenly we all started laughing and kidding, and I quit complaining and wishing I was with the Angels. Well, sir, we went on to Chicago and took all 4 games. Got 17 hits in the first game. Poor old St. Louis. They were so shook up by that last game with us, they never did hit the stride again. Their center fielder who caught Pearl, well, he took to misjudging everything that come his way. The rest of the team followed suit. That's the way it is on a club when one guy blows up. Well, sir, the boys all went together and bought a pair of them little baby shoes. Got them golded, give them to me as a souvenir. Great guys. Whitey, Billy made up. We come home like a ton of dynamite. Went on to win that pennant.
Quite a story, Mr. McGrew.
Yeah, it happened about 25 years ago. Suppose it seems like a long time ago to you, boy, but to me it seems just like yesterday. Bugs Courtney standing up at the players' dinner and saluting what he called the greatest man and a half in baseball. Me and Pearl de Montville. You see, Pearl was right. We did kind of make history. And Larry, all this is in the record books. If you don't believe it, you could look it up.
You've been listening to the CBS Radio Workshop, presenting James Thurber's You Could Look It Up. Written, produced, and directed for radio by D. Engelbach. Music by Richard Heyman. Heard in our cast were Ralph Bell, Sarah Fussell, Larry Haynes, Harold Huber, Joe Julian, David Kerman, Del Sharpett. This is Ted Pearson speaking.
July 7th, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode of the soap opera Claudia. This episode originally broadcast July 7th, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia,
based on the famous play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you transcribed Monday through Friday by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Dum 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 dum. La 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 la.
What's that tune, Mrs. Norton?
The one I was just humming, Miss Cavaney?
Yes, you sing it a lot, but I've never heard anyone else who knows it.
Oh, it's sort of a private tune between my husband and me.
Oh, I should have known. All right, now, if you'll roll over, I'll rub your back down.
Oh, that'd be nice. You know, being in a hospital has its compensation.
Just tell me if I get too strong.
You couldn't. You know, I think I'm a cat at heart. I love having my back rubbed almost as much as Shakespeare.
Shakespeare?
Our cat, he's yellow.
Folks sure think up funny names for their pets.
Ooh, oh, could you rub there some more? Right there under my left shoulder blade.
Right here?
A little bit higher. That's wonderful.
Relax, Mrs. Norton. You aren't relaxed.
Oh, do I have to relax, too?
You don't ever relax, do you?
Well, I haven't got much time. We live on a farm, you know.
Do you have a cow?
Nope.
Well, you have the baby now to make up for it.
It's not the same thing. My husband would love to have a cow, but we couldn't afford both.
Babies are smaller.
And they last longer. David's not a bit sorry.
He'd better not be. That cute little thing.
Well, he's not very handsome yet.
At 2 days? What do you want, a movie star?
I'm satisfied. As long as he has character.
There you are. All rubbed down.
Every rub weren't costing me so much money, I'd feel rich.
You just roll over now and try and get some rest.
Oh, rest.
I want to go down the hall now and order your lunch, and then I'll be back with an eggnog for you.
When does my son have his lunch?
Oh, not for an hour yet.
Oh, so long?
It's only 12 o'clock, Mrs. Norton.
Is that all? At home, 12 o'clock comes so early. Here, it seems as if it should be tomorrow already.
Well, your husband will be along any time now, and then you won't mind this hospital so much.
Oh, the hospital's all right. It's just me.
Tonight, we're going to give you something to make you sleep, and no begging off.
Sleeping is something I've always been able to do on my own. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's not much of a talent, but it's one I've got.
It didn't do so good last night.
Who told you?
The floor nurse.
She's a tattletale. I have no privacy at all. Oh, David.
Hello, darling.
Well, now your husband's here. I'll leave you in his trust, Mrs. Norton.
Oh, before you go, nurse.
Yes, Mr. Norton?
How's the patient today?
Restless and tired.
I heard you, and I'm not.
Now, you hush up. I'm talking to someone who knows how you feel better than you do.
Insults. Who knows better about me than me?
Than I, if you're so bright. Well, Miss Capeney?
It's just that she doesn't know how to rest, Mr. Norton, and it's caught up with her today.
Serves her right.
It does indeed.
I've been rubbing her back.
Oh, it was wonderful, David. You ought to learn how.
And she'll be more comfortable now. We're going to fix her up a fine lunch, and we're going to eat all of it, aren't we?
We'll try.
Well, that's the best we can do. Now, Mr. Norton, you keep her resting, and I'll be back in a little while.
All right.
We. Why do nurses always say we?
Now, you heard what she said, so you shut up, and I'll do all the talking.
I'm not even allowed to talk anymore. People go around saying I'm tired when I'm not. This is a fine, free country, it is.
You'll feel better tomorrow, darling.
I felt fine yesterday, too.
If you had a half ounce of sense about you, you'd realize you're no superwoman.
Well, I don't have to be a superwoman. All I had was one tiny little baby.
I don't know. 8 pounds isn't so tiny.
When I hold him, he doesn't feel like 8 pounds. They must have weighed him with his shoes on.
And holding books in both hands.
Oh. Yesterday I thought I'd be up today.
What's the big rush? Don't you like all this attention?
You should be eating lunch, not rushing over here from the office to see me.
Oh, I'll have lunch, too.
Bet you 20 cents.
Bet you.
Shake.
Shook.
Oh, darling, I love you 1,000 times more than ever.
I couldn't love you any more.
You couldn't?
No. But I love you differently.
Differently better or differently worse?
Differently, always.
Is that good?
Nothing is ever going to take us away from each other.
I wouldn't let it.
You wouldn't, huh?
Except we're sort of away from each other now, aren't we?
Oh, I think we're more together than ever, darling.
Then you're not jealous of the baby?
Now, what do you think?
I think I love you 2,000 times more than ever.
Mm-hmm. Would you, like to prove it? Then lie back on those pillows and keep quiet.
Oh, that is the trouble. You 1 minute you talk wonderful love to me, and the next you're just another trained nurse.
I don't see what you're complaining about. I'd love to spend a couple of days in bed being spoiled by Miss Cavaney or Cavaney.
Scratch your eyes out. Cavaney.
Oh, I think you would.
David, listen seriously. Just because I feel sort of tired today doesn't mean I'm going to have to stay here much longer, does it?
Of course not. You're supposed to feel tired today. Dr. Rowland warned you.
Warning and being are two different things. I feel like a fool spending all this money lying around in a hospital.
Are you still worrying about a few pennies?
Pennies? You haven't landed on a gold mine while I was here, have you?
Darling, now, we've planned this whole thing very carefully, and if you're a good girl, there's not a thing in the world to worry
David,
about.
listen, now, I figured that the baby shouldn't be a great deal more expense than Shakespeare.
Shakespeare?
Now that he's here, I mean.
Are you comparing my son to a mere cat?
Financially.
Oh, no wonder you feel tired. Look, Claudia, stop trying to think. Just be your own sweet self, and everything will be perfect.
That's the thanks I get?
You're welcome. Ah, that's right. Lean back. Here, give me a hand.
Oh, David, give me some of your strength.
I wish I had yours, darling.
Now you're sweet again.
May we come in?
Yes, come in.
Look at this lovely gift we've received. Isn't it enormous?
It certainly is. It's stunning.
With so much fruit.
I'll just put it down here where you can see it, Mrs. Norton. There we are. My, I've never seen such a large basket. She must be a very good friend of yours. Here's the card.
No friend of mine, whoever she is.
I'll be back. There are lots more boxes for you in the elevator.
Miss Cavaney puts on her party manners when you're here.
She seems to be a very competent nurse.
She is, worse luck.
Though obviously not firm enough. Who's the fruit from?
I don't know, just a minute and I'll see. Nancy Riddle. Do I know her?
Vaguely. We met her at Julia's one night.
Oh, the lady with the pink hair and too much everything else?
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
She has a farm in Eastbrook, too. Julia keeps wanting us to get more acquainted with her.
Why does Nancy Riddle send me a present? She doesn't know me. For heaven's sakes, I don't understand.
Well, she knows Julia, and some people make a profession of sending presents to people they don't know. She's pretty extravagant, if you ask me.
Extravagant? A lot of oversized oranges with a pineapple at the bottom?
You are a charmingly grateful little girl.
I feel like a hypocrite, but anyway, I'm glad Nancy Riddle sent it.
Oh?
I think Miss Cavaney was starting to be embarrassed in front of the other nurses. A patient's loot is very important to a nurse's professional standing.
Now, stop putting on such a front.
David, what are you talking about?
This patient's loot is very important to this particular patient.
Oh, rubbish.
All right, so it isn't. What are those books on your table?
Bestsellers. Your esteemed sister-in-law, Julia, sent them.
Any of them good?
Now, why on earth they're bestsellers, I'll never know. They all happened hundreds of years ago to people not like us at all. Besides which, there's not enough conversation in them.
I know you. You like a page that's full of quotation marks and nothing else.
How'd you know?
I'm your husband, remember?
Oh, that's right. I almost
How do you
forgot.
feel now, darling?
Keep holding onto my hand, David.
I'm right here.
Another present.
Oh, we're doing very well.
Oh, there are still more articles. They've accumulated. You see, we only deliver them twice a day.
Oh, I much prefer dribbles and drabbles.
I'll be back.
Here, open it up. It's for you.
I wonder what it is.
And who it's from.
My, it's certainly wrapped up.
Is it candy?
Doesn't rattle. I hope it isn't another nightgown. Mrs. Killian sent me 3.
3?
I wish she'd sent me 3 smoke cams instead. Nightgowns. People must think I'm going to spend the rest of my life in a hospital.
They don't know you.
Well, here I am at the 3rd layer of tissue paper. Oh! It's a very fancy set of toilet water and bath powder.
Which you will never use.
Presents after babies is like presents after weddings. Then it was salts and peppers. Now it's nightgowns and toilet water. It's from somebody else I don't know.
Another friend of Julia's?
Her Back Bay aunt, I think. The one who didn't die.
I should hope not.
David, did we send anything to the one who did die?
Search me.
If we didn't, I'll start to feel guilty.
It's too late now.
I wish I were the kind who remembers birthdays and things. Julia has quite a collection of that kind of friends.
Well, she's worked at it for a long time.
Fine way to talk about your sister-in-law. And don't bite the hand that feeds me.
I don't know why nobody sends anything to the father.
What did you do?
Oh, nothing, no.
You're cute. I feel better now, a little.
How better?
Oh, I don't know, just better. Not so tired, maybe.
I think I know why.
Why?
Tell you later.
Tell me now.
No, I think you should sleep.
What do I want to sleep for? I'm starting to feel better. Suppose there's another present for me?
Come on in.
It's us again.
With a big box in your arms.
Flowers.
Long-stemmed roses.
They're so expensive.
Yellow roses at that.
I'll put them in some water.
Can't I even see them?
Well, here's the card.
Let me see. Love from Edith Dexter. David, another friend of Julia's.
Oh, Mrs. Norton, you're doing fine. Our room will just be filled with presents.
Oh, I don't deserve them. David, I am just one big false pretense. Getting embarrassed.
Well, you should. Reflected glory.
Look at the light in her eye, Mr. Norton. You certainly have a good effect on your wife.
I have?
Oh, she's perked up ever so much since you've been here. Yes, ever so much. I always say love is the best medicine of them all.
She's right. It is, David.
The light in your eye, darling. It's not love, it's greed.
David, I promise not to worry anymore. I promise to rest. And I promise to feel fine every minute from now on if you will promise me one little thing.
Anything.
Darling, let's let Miss Cavaney think the light in my eyes because of love, not loot.
After a warm morning's work, you're apt to put together a hit-and-miss lunch from leftovers in the refrigerator. Now, I'm going to tell you how to give any lunch an extra touch that makes it especially welcome on a day like this. When you reach into the icebox for sandwich makings or a salad, help yourself to an ice-cold bottle of Coke. That delicious refreshment will give you a party feeling, or my name's not Joe King.
Well, say, Joe King, was your wife spoiled?
My wife spoiled? Oh, yes. A new baby is an occasion for miles around.
Julia has really spread the news around, hasn't she?
That's not all. She's coming in to see Claudia tomorrow.
Well, I guess there's some women who just have to make the most of what happens to other people because it can't happen to them. Poor Julia.
Will you be here tomorrow when she comes, David? It ought to be quite amusing, seeing as there'll be another visitor at the same time.
Oh? Who's the other? Maybe that'll coax me.
Oh, that'd be telling. You'll be here instead, David.
All right. I will. So long, Joe.
Bye, David. Every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you transcribed with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere. This broadcast of Claudia was supervised and directed by William Brown Maloney.
Like I said, Claudia was so much nicer than other soap operas. We played some others. It's really a nice, sweet show, and something that just kind of fits the bill, don't you know? Claudia, July 7th, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Please thank this station and support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. If you go to my webpage at classicradio.stream, you can stream our shows on demand, learn more about classic radio collecting. You can also contact me there, and you can find all sorts of places there that you can hear our show. And wherever you hear our show away from this radio station, give it 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever. You can hear the show on YouTube. You can also hear it also on a number of other podcast apps, including iHeart, Spotify, Spreaker, and always give it the thumbs up, 5 star, even through Amazon. And if you give it that good recommendation, it helps others to find the show because that boosts what they call the algorithms, whatever that is. My webpage again, classicradio.stream. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.